Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. First, liberals called Trump rich and heartless, then an egomaniac, then sexist, racist, a Russian spy, fascist, now a white supremacist. Each insult has had the shelf life of an organic peach, but then liberals just invent a new one. It does make you wonder what could possibly come next. But stop trying to make white supremacy a Republican thing. It's not happening. And you know why? Because it's a malicious lie. And you liberals hurling the insult, you know it's a lie. You do. White supremacy is awful. Don't belittle real racism by using white supremacy as your knee-jerk reaction to everything you don't like about Donald Trump. If you have a real problem with racism and white supremacy, you would have called out racism and white supremacy in the Democratic Party years ago. But you didn't. If you had a real problem with racism and white supremacy, you would have condemned Senator Robert Byrd, who was a member of the KKK. Robert Byrd was a Democrat. But you Democrats, you kept electing him for 50 years. Byrd served in the Senate until 2010. And the politicians, including Hillary Clinton, who praised Senator Byrd instead of condemning his racism, they were all Democrats too. If you had a real problem with racism and white supremacy, you would have condemned Hillary Clinton for calling young black people super predators and promising to bring them to heel. But you didn't. You didn't condemn her. You Democrats, you voted for her. If Democrats had a real problem with racism and white supremacy, they would reject Planned Parenthood. Guess where Planned Parenthood builds the majority of their abortion clinics? 79% to be exact. That's right, in minority neighborhoods to target black women and Hispanic women. If Democrats really cared about racism, they would condemn the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, who called black people human weeds. But Democrats don't condemn her. They still praise her and honor her racist legacy, even as the monstrosity she built continues to kill black babies. If Democrats had a real problem with racism and white supremacy, they'd reject Antifa and the Black Lives Matter movement, who hate white people because they're white. They'd kick Linda Sarsour and her anti-Semitism out of their party. They'd condemn the Dyke March gay pride parade for excluding gay Jewish people from their march because they were Jewish. And they'd refuse to let Congressman Keith Ellison, who praised black nationalist Louis Farrakhan, lead their party. But the Democrats don't do any of that. They don't reject racism when it's within their own ranks. They embrace it. They brush it under the rug. They ignore it, or they harness it to divide the American people. The only white supremacy Democrats care about is invented, unfounded accusations against a president they just don't happen to like. Well, knock it off. Real racism isn't a joke, and you Democrats, you're crying wolf. And that's my final point tonight. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.